Like, what is your favorite type of horror?
News. In fact, all of Tumbbad looks beautiful because
it looks so good.
It's an actor who you can't use closes off.
Oh, wow.
That's
a great theory.
It's all beautiful wides and wides
Sweeping
and
shots.
these long
Sweeping shots.
I feel like Ahat was one of those things which I was denied as a kid. Obviously, you couldn't watch it, but all kids would be like, "Dekha kya tune? Tune Ahat?" It was one of those things where you wanted to be
allowed to
part.
watch it as a toddler. I was. Every jump scare in Booth would either be like Seema Biswas showing up like Jadu Mardu. Junaid Khan is currently shooting for the next Ragini MMS 3.
MMS?
They've de-eroticized it and they're currently shooting with Tamanna and him. They just made an
MMS de-eroticized.
Very
It's a hug. Okay, welcome to another episode of Popcorner. I'm Shantanu.
I'm Akanksha.
And today we have a very special guest with us. Kautuk Srivastava is in the house.
Yay!
Kautuk, the novelist. Kautuk, the writer. Kautuk, the comic. Kautuk, the showrunner. Kautuk, the creative director.
Good Lord.
Kautuk, the man with a new hairstyle.
Yes.
And pulling it off
Which
also.
is being debuted.
Thank you.
Straight here. Very own Parthiv Patel, doppelganger. Kautuk Srivastava in the house.
Thank you.
That is not. That is a joke that has been made numerous times.
No, and now people are like, he's Parthiv Patel without hair, but he's still Parthiv Patel. So,
Did you lose the hair to lose that tag?
man, I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't lose the hair
Parthiv
at all.
Patel's father
Oh,
never
really?
passes away.
No, I mean, like, I'm okay with it, but even if it was there, I would have been maybe better.
Today we are here to discuss horror movies. Horror movies in general in India, in Bollywood and horror is primarily what we're going to discuss. And what we thought we'd start off with was childhood.
Oh, yes.
A beautiful place,
Very
beautiful, innocent, naive childhood like we
Yes.
all had. And in that childhood, we wanted to discuss what was your first core memory of horror, or say your first core memory of a jump scare. What was the first time you experienced a jump scare in a movie, and how much does it still traumatize you?
When I was thinking about it, I think there were 2 or 3 things that popped out to me. Right? One was, and oddly enough, I think one of the first things that really got me into horror was there was this one particular thing that used to come, a strand of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The horror version of it.
They used to have these. It was an
Ghosts were part of
hour-long
it.
thing called the Scooby-Doo Mysteries. I forget the exact whatever the title was, but hour-long thing. They had some of the best depictions of horror, and I remember being intrigued, fascinated, and in love with this feeling.
Yeah.
There are some things that I still think about from that particular thing, which was quite nice. Second one was Goosebumps.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein.
Such cool body
Goosebumps.
covers.
Were you also Give
book
Yourself? Were you a Give Yourself? I never enjoyed Give Yourself.
Never enjoyed
the
it.
Bandersnatch of Goosebumps.
I wanted R.L. Stein to give me.
Yeah.
The thing was, I felt with Goosebumps such an interesting concept of saying, hey, let's write horror, but for kids.
Yeah.
A thing that usually it never happens. No one wants to do. And because this guy did it in such a way, I think a whole generation of kids has been introduced
100%.
to it, fallen in love
100%.
with it.
Yeah.
I remember I was thinking back again, memories that I'm so grateful that this happened. So I used to get Goosebumps from a circulating library.
Give one, take one.
Yeah, and I was thinking also of what other kinds of libraries are there, if not a circulating one. Right? But they were very prominent about it. So I loved everything about Goosebumps from maybe it's nostalgia, sentimentality, whatever it is, but the way it was written, the Goosebumps font and the gooey
of
thingy.
course.
You guys remember the book covers? They were like emboldened. What do you call it? When
Some
it's
of them had the-
Embossed.
embossed.
Yeah.
Like some Tazos,
That
like the
was so
fancy
cool to
Tazos.
touch.
Yes, the fancy Tazos also.
Like the Space Jam Tazos from
Yes.
Masala.
And if you are under the age of 30, sorry, okay,
You missed out.
we apologize for this section.
Yeah.
Skip to whatever section you like. But so Goosebumps was so fun for me, and I remember that silly now in retrospect, but back then, man, bought everything. Abominable Snowman to
The werewolf. The
whatever.
werewolf one was a big one. I remember it was a fan.
Yeah.
And there were the fancier kids who read Animorphs, I remember.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, there were some Animorph kids, but I was a Goosebump loyalist.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein went on to write slightly more adult horror also. He wrote the Fear Street series.
Oh, Fear Street, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
which
yes,
then
yes.
Netflix, I think, recently adapted into...
Did they?
There's a Fear Street, I think, trilogy on Netflix, which is
very
pretty
nice.
good. Fear Street Summer Camp or something.
I must check this out.
But your Goosebumps and Scooby-Doo, which is interesting because this has pushed me in a similar direction. I have two now as opposed to one.
Yeah.
The first, I think, would be Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
In cartoons, I remember every time there was the Babar episode that would show up. Not the Mughal emperor.
I was just thinking of that.
Not the next Saif Ali Khan child.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about there was a barber who used to appear on Courage the Cowardly Dog, where obviously the old people are blissfully unaware of the fact that there is a threat at home. So this little pig-like dog would go around, and the barber would come and just do a "Have you been naughty?" is what he would do.
Sounded like Shah Rukh Khan
There's a kid who's been.
The late post Pathan Shah Rukh era, where he's
The
just
slight grunt.
ready. And I, as a child, went to my, as South Indians like to call it, native place. My native place, Nellore in Andhra.
Yeah.
We went and saw Ram Gopal Varma, who we will get to at some point.
Of course, that's a whole
A
dedicated.
movie called Dahyam.
Ooh.
Dahyam was either a remake or it was either remade into Vastu Shastra or Bhoot. One of the two. Dahyam literally translates to Bhoot, but I think it is Vastu Shastra, which is Grudge. Grudge became Dahyam, became Vastu Shastra in Hindi.
Yes.
Dahyam, I remember my parents took me as a baby. I was like a year or 2 years.
Wow.
This is 92, 93, baby. And I just screamed. And I remember core memory, like I must have been 3 years old. And I screamed and I left. And then my parents were like, chalo, isko movie ke liye nahi le ja sakte. So
It's like children could watch it, or your parents.
they could. My
just be
mom
bored,
loves
I
horror.
guess.
She's, I get it.
Okay,
The
okay.
Keeda comes from my mother. My mom is a big horror junkie. So then next they took me for Jurassic Park.
lovely.
That's fun.
Jurassic Park also I didn't. The first Velociraptor or what? The bird one that does the green gunk.
Sure.
No, that's a Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus. That's the flying one that.
And no, it's not the flying. The one that has the frill, right?
No, the one
has
that
the
does the and the green gunk comes
he
out.
He kills Nedry, right?
Kills Nedry.
Yeah, that's
I
Dilophosaurus.
ran out. I was like, I'm done. We are out. You can't subject me to this. So that would
But
be
that was a very creepy scene.
fucking scary even now.
Because when he's got the thing in his eyes, and then he stumbles into his car, and then you just hear the that sound.
And it's divine justice because he's running away with the formula or something, right?
Yeah,
Like
the Barbasol can. But the reason this is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh,
Yeah, Jurassic Park is my
damn.
favorite movie.
Love it.
Next episode, Kautuk has
Love
to
Jurassic
discuss
Park.
this.
Yeah,
Love it.
Discuss all of
I've
them.
seen like each Jurassic, even the Worlds.
Yeah.
The last one sucked.
Yeah,
But
oh no, terrible. I watch it out of compulsion and a misplaced sense of loyalty. But
even
I
World
should
1 and 2
stop.
were fine. The first two Worlds were also bearable.
Yeah, first World I quite liked, and only because there was a huge gap and they just did a retread of the first one. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Good. So the creature feature has been positively included into our overall larger
As kids,
horror conversation.
that did feel like horror because horror is essentially what you're scared of, right? And that doesn't have to be supernatural.
No,
it can be
no.
something that's
100%, and that's a very good maybe a point to sort of like talk about what do you guys like? What is horror like? What is your favorite type of horror?
Yeah.
News.
Superb.
News.
Superb.
What is your childhood?
Walking on the road is pretty scary sometimes.
Superb.
But you're out of Delhi now. You're fine.
Actually, but it's internalized. The fear is internalized. My favorite. So first question was like your core memory. I feel like Ahat was one of those things which I was denied as a kid. Obviously, you couldn't watch it, but all kids would be like, "Dekha kya tune? Tune Ahat dekha." It was one of those things where you wanted
Fully
to be
allowed to
part.
watch it as a toddler. I was.
Very few things. My mom said no to very few things as a child. She's like chocolate khao, ye sab, whatever. But Ahat, she was like, you're 2 for 2. Like my day would get ruined if her day would get ruined if I saw Ahat. So, but I used to watch it like at night. I used to watch it and pee my bed or whatever. Oversharing. Okay, that was one. I think the second one, and then I got very scared of horror. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not going to watch horror. But I got intrigued by Bhoot predominantly because there was a lot of news around if you watch it, you will die and all. He was like, if you watch it in the
Watch
theatre
it
alone,
alone
I'll
in
give
the
you
theatre.
money. Otherwise, it was one of those challenges.
Marketing gimmick of that thing was beautiful.
Booth, no?
Yeah, and the thing with horror is that like you're going into the theatre, know you're going to get scared.
Yes.
Right? You're signing up for that feeling.
Yes.
But you're also regretting it while you're watching
Oh,
it.
100%.
Yeah,
That's,
so it's,
for me, that's part of the
fun.
How was
Yeah.
Seema
It's a
Biswas
little,
the scariest in Bhoots? For
masochist.
some reason, they made Seema Biswas
Her hair
scarier than
and all
the
that.
actual.
Very creepy.
Every jump scare in Booth would either be like Seema Biswas showing up like Jadu Mardu. And you're like, why have you demonized the domestic worker in
Which
your
also
home?
gets to what Kautuk was saying now, which is like, what is scary?
Yeah.
Like, what are these directors and storytellers playing around with in
In
terms
childhood.
of house help is scary?
Yeah.
Like, what is
In
he trying to
childhood,
say?
old people are scary.
Yeah.
Like if you notice some themes of an old grandmother.
Because it's like fear
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
death, nah? It's a little bit of like old people represent
Oh,
the
by
fact that
the way,
you
this
might
is
die.
one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Just to kind of put my limited, extremely non-technical, psychological ideas
Project
onto
on the movie.
क्यों लगता है मुझे
Yeah,
scary?
yeah, yeah.
I love doing this.
Yeah, same.
But sorry, just to
Yeah.
this conversation is going to go all over the place.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
apologies.
As it should.
But talking about the childhood part, right? I also remember this. You guys remember this serial called Woe?
Yeah.
Which was loosely, which was it essentially.
Yeah,
right?
Joker, Z horror show ke around aata tha. It's that era.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, it was basically about the clown. It was about it was it, but Indian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they used to have the theme song, which was na 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 na.
And it was suburbs and all that. Because it is like the suburban.
There's a rocking chair and a Joker in the title montage, I remember.
And
watch this.
so my cousin sister used to be terrified of this serial, this soundtrack, this everything. So now in retrospect, I can say rather cruelly, me and my cousin brother would literally just, we'd be walking downstairs, she'd be looking up and going, na 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 na, and she'd be like, no, don't stop me.
Interesting. In linking childhood horror to news, there used to be India's Most Wanted.
Oh, yes.
With Suhaib Ilyasi.
Suhaib Ilyasi,
who
yes.
eventually was on the run
Also,
himself.
yes,
He
for-
was
wow.
India's
Yeah.
Most Wanted at some point.
Yeah. Very ironic.
I used to my cousin, every episode we would watch, we would hear about like Fakira, Lucknow mein 4 log ko maar ke farar ho gaya. And I would just point to every window like, oh, Chinu, dekh Fakira. And then she'd be like, no. So yeah, ruining
So
female
distracting,
cousins.
both of you, my God.
Boys.
I'm telling
boys
you,
gotta be
that-
boys.
It's so.
That's so true, by the way. Like, it's only other guys who would try to mess with
Nudge
you,
each other,
scare
yeah.
you. Yeah.
But in terms of Indian films though,
Yeah.
well, once you grew out of cartoons, which I hope has happened. I hope it happened earlier.
Actually, it did, yeah.
It did at
Unfortunately.
at some point.
Yeah.
What was the first Hindi movie or Indian movie that you saw where you were like, "Fuck, this is a good horror film"?
Two, three memories are surfacing. I can't obviously tell you exactly, but one definitive one was Raaz,
Yes.
the first one when it came out.
Bipasha?
Yeah, Bipasha.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
interesting.
very scary though.
And by the way, on rewatch, I also found it really fun. Like, it still holds up for me.
Yeah.
For me. But Raaz, I'll tell you why I remember it. Because again, Raaz phenomena. And you didn't hear too much about horror films in general. Like, they had a bad rep and no one cared about them. And then this film, everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
And then it eventually appears, and it was like, oh, scary, very, and all of that.
Yeah.
It appears on TV.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember getting very creeped out by the scene at the end. Spoilers.
Yeah.
If you've not watched Raaz.
If you have not watched
What are
any
you
horror
doing?
movie,
What
you
are
should
you
know
doing?
Hanuman Chalisa works right at
It
the
really
end.
does.
Hanuman Chalisa will make the Raymond guy survive.
So I very vividly remember being creeped out by this scene where Dino Moria and who he thinks is Bipasha are going in this car, right, through these ghats. And he's like, he's just saying something to her and she's not responding and her hair is...
Mrinalini, I think her name.
Yeah,
is.
Yeah,
Something,
her hair was just hiding her face.
Yeah.
And, and it kept cutting to...
Yeah.
to that hair, right? And I'm like, oh man, like, I don't want her to turn. I don't
Yeah.
want to see what's under the hair.
Yeah.
And so that dread, I remember very vividly. The second one was Bhoot, where and
Hair
Bhoot,
also again important.
again, and Bhoot also, the interesting thing about it was what Ram Gopal Varma managed to do was to make things like the creaky elevator be the start point of the horror.
Yeah.
Because I now when I think back of Bhoot, one of the things that pops up to me first, more than anything else, is just that lift going.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
and the way they found the Watchmen. Those two things
Oh
for
my
me are the
God.
defining.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Yeah.
180.
And
Like that meme
Yeah.
of the guy.
Yeah.
those two things for me were for me definitely, like now when I think back of the movie, and that for me that's what horror kind of is. Like it's not the ghoul or the monster or whatever. It's everything that
It's
happens.
the anticipation of it also.
There is a certain amount of horror where I feel like it's who is being subject to the horror.
Also
Yeah, just
true.
thinking.
Also
Which
true.
is who's being subject to the horror. Like for instance, in this, the moment I'm scared of whatever has gone into Urmila Matondkar.
Yeah.
But the moment I know that she was wronged by Fardeen,
Oh yeah.
the Manjari was
yeah.
wronged and all, once you figure out, by the end of
on
the
the
film,
side
he
of
flips
the-
it and you're like, yeah, bro, bhoot girl, bhoot behan, go for it, man.
Yeah,
Give this guy
yeah.
a
On the
fucking-
side of the
kill this
bhoot.
motherfucker.
Correct,
Like,
correct.
you're basically there.
Yeah.
Similarly, in a lot of Razes, what happens is that the ghost is a spurned lover.
Yes.
Where an affair has happened. So for me, Dino Moria is a bad guy by
Yeah,
the
of
end of it. A
course.
lot of
Yeah,
Razes were just like,
yeah.
"Abey, yaar, he should die, yaar,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Bipasha
yeah.
should move on.
Yeah.
Like again to come to this point of what is the horror, right? And eventually, like for me, one of the things that I find very interesting is that eventually the horror becomes, it's not the ghost. It was never the ghost. It was always people,
Yeah.
right? And nothing is scarier than other human beings.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure,
one of the sad realizations of becoming an adult.
Yeah.
That the real world is far scarier than anything that you would imagine or think of outside of it. Like you
for
said,
sure.
the news.
Or
Yeah.
even in these movies, like the person who's targeted first by the ghost is always a woman or a child, predominantly, right? And like the scary part of watching this is why are people not believing Urmila?
Yeah.
Like the instinct is to call her crazy or to be
Yeah.
like she's overreacting,
Hysterical.
paranoid, all of those
Yeah.
things that you associate with someone.
Multiple personality disorder.
Exactly,
medical
like
science
it's
mein aa
harder
jata
to
hai
believe
isko, is what
the woman.
Yeah.
It's easier to like label her as paranoid or whatever. A lot of these horror films do that really well to show that she was actually saying the truth all along. Like her fear is justified.
And I love how Ramu also then subverted that very trope in Con.
Huh.
Where
Oh, crazy.
he plays
dude.
on ki, it's a woman alone in this
Yeah,
house with this
yeah,
crazy
yeah, yeah.
dude, and then
But he's master subversion. The
very
final
master.
Darna Mana hai.
oh, I
and all.
loved, by the way, Darna
Darna
Mana.
Mana
Namana is
hai.
a solid one.
Darna Mana is him
Great.
and I think Rohit Jugraj worked on it. This other director who knows. But the idea of the campsite and the campsite and
The
six stories.
framing story, na?
The
They are
framing
so
story
good.
of this like
Yeah.
final girl. Samira Reddy is a final girl
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that. But and what he did very interestingly was that in Darna Zaruri Hai,
Yeah.
which was the sequel
Second
to Darna
one.
Mana
Yeah,
Hai,
yeah.
he did something which I thought was slightly fucked up.
What?
He made it was a final girl situation.
But it was kids, no?
Yeah, Saini Raj.
Yeah, yeah,
Saini
yeah.
Raj.
Saini
Oh,
Raj.
really?
He's
Also former star of
former star of Shakalaka Boom Boom. Saini Raj is one of the kids in Darna Zaruri Hai.
Yeah,
I
and they
think
keep going to the
fourth
bathroom
die.
or something, and they keep getting.
They keep
picked
going to the
off.
bathroom and they
I
one
haven't
off.
seen this one.
I think it's a little messed up to off kids, like to use the trope of it should be teenagers having sex at a campsite.
But a lot of horror films in Hollywood also do this.
No, so
Kids.
by the way, can I tell you something? So there's this new thing that has appeared on the horror landscape. So if you're a horror fan, and I'm presuming you are if you're watching this, so there's an understanding in horror, right? That look, it's a ride. Bad things are going to happen, but it's still at the end. They're
Yeah.
going to tell you a story, and you're going to whatever. It's going to be fine, right? Largely. But there's a new type of horror film that's emerged, which is the feel-bad horror film. Okay, the feel-bad horror film does these things where they transgress these lines that, there's the lines that you had an understanding ki, yaar, itna to nahi karenge. So, I'll give you an example. So, there are these two directors who did Australian guys. They were YouTubers. They did this film called Talk to Me.
Yes,
I haven't seen that.
the
Talk to
magic,
me.
the hand.
The Hand
It's
one.
one of my favorite horror movies. That and
Great movie.
Babadook are my two favorite horror films.
Both Australian, by the way. Funny-
Yeah, I know.
funny enough.
Yeah. And he made a new one right now.
So that's the one I was going to tell
Yeah.
you about. So I love Talk to Me. I thought it was a superb idea, great execution. Went to see Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back, feel bad. Feel bad max.
Explain feel bad.
So, okay. So feel bad is, so it's like this. Okay. So in a lot of ways, I'm going to get very geeky about this
Go for
because
it,
this
go
is
for
my
it.
favorite
You have an
thing.
audience.
Yeah.
Favorite thing.
Yeah. Talk to me
All
discussion.
yours, all
And
yours.
they're my
Okay,
favorite.
And I want to just go back, little further back from there. So for me, horror tends to work really well in short story form. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's only 2 acts. You set up and you have a
Lights
payoff.
Out is a good example.
Set up, payoff, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to justify. Blah, blah, blah. The minute you have a third act, you have to have some kind of resolution. Right?
Yeah.
And usually, what horror movies tend to do is the resolution is that the ghost is vanquished in some shape or form.
Right.
Yeah.
End mein climactic, blah, blah, blah,
Correct.
and then the.
Yeah.
So there is a redemptive quality. There's almost like catharsis. Like they were subjected to this and now it's.
Mukti types.
Mukti, right? There will be casualties, but they will never be casualties of any kind of serious, like a real sort of consequence, right? For example, there'll be side characters who come in who will die,
Sure.
caretakers, that
Commercial
kind of
horror, Conjuring franchise.
commercial horror is essentially that. So in feel bad horror, what they do is they kind of go like, okay, the resolutions are unsatisfying, like life. The consequences are brutal. The characters that you would imagine
Would
in a commercial
survive.
horror film would survive, in these feel bad movies, they end up and they are set up for your sympathy and then end up getting affected. So it leaves you with a horrible aftertaste.
Okay.
Where you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
why did you do this? Right? You're not supposed to. So it's almost that. So
Are
there's
there
a-
examples of this in Bollywood? Or we don't have we can't do that because commercially it might not work.
because even the commercial horror films don't work. So then
That's
Yeah.
true. We need
Some of
the
them.
comedy angle.
You
Correct.
need a traditional
relief.
girl. You need
Yeah.
a 1920.
Can I tell you one other theory I have? My other theory is I feel like these movies are also like it's a product of the kind of place you're making them from,
100%.
right?
Yeah, of
So, for example, Australia, Europe, whatever, these places are so relatively safe that when you see something so unsafe,
Fantasy.
you're shocked by it.
Or Japan.
Yeah. So, for example, I feel like nothing will come close, horror film wise, than whatever Burari was.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my
Okay,
God,
nothing's
man.
gonna come
Yeah,
close.
yeah, yeah.
आखिर 3 जनरेशन एक साथ सुसाइड कैसे कर सकते हैं?
So just the fact that our reality consists of some of these things, that is a feel bad
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah.
Sector 36, Nithari.
Nithari, right?
Same,
NH10 and all.
You have like your reality is only so feel bad that why would you want that reflected on your screen?
Yeah.
Eden Lake, all those films. Like
Yeah, Eden Lake is a
Eden
great
Lake is
example.
NH10, which
Okay,
is
okay.
NH10 was
which is these
feel bad.
agglomerations. If you go to the
Yes.
exteriors, you leave a city, then the
Okay.
disparity creates crime.
Okay.
and not just it's the thing that it's also that latent fear that urban people have.
Yeah.
Of the other.
बाहर गांव जाएंगे तो कुछ हो जाएगा हमें. Like, it's that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I feel like part of it is like you will get like the kind of cinema that is missing in your surroundings. Like one of the best, funniest things that I find is the best crime literature comes out of the Scandinavian countries where crime is like zero.
Yeah.
Right? And those dudes are fantasizing.
True fiction.
"Oh,
Yeah. Their mind goes
shit,
to
yaar,
new
maza
places.
aayega."
Yeah.
Because you want to feel things that you don't feel on a daily.
Yeah. And we want to feel relief, I guess, when we go to the theater.
Exactly.
Some kind of
so,
like,
so, the day we start making feel bad horror films,
Yeah,
trust
yeah.
me, life will be great.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, that's a great one. If you're making like feel good horror films, that means your society is doing good.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
good. Okay.
Like
That's
really
an
you're
interesting
seeing the
take on-
opposite of what you
Yeah,
experience. And that also brings me to my other very stupid idea of why we made horror, right? Like why this need came from us, right? So I always think about the fact that like horror is a great example of how much human beings have succeeded. We have killed it. Okay, the deer doesn't need horror because it has lions in its life.
Yeah.
Right? We have finished. Like there's
Shit.
no predator, there is no problem, there is nothing. Which is why there was nothing to fear in the natural world, so we turned to the supernatural world.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
That's how much we've killed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right? So you had to invent, not problems, but you had to invent things to.
Do you think they do
conflict
better
against.
in urban centers in India? Do you think horror films
I find it
because
very...
there are predators for poor people in this country still. I think it is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
scarier time for
No,
them.
no.
So do you think it's also like socio-economically, horror films do
audience.
better well in multiplexes than single screen theaters in urban centers?
I actually can't say, because I don't think we've had a proper, pure, nice horror film in a long time. I feel like
We've only had comedy horror for
We've
the
had only
past, like,
comedy
whatever,
horror. That is mad.
forever.
And
Before that, we had some horror.
we had a few, and
Yeah.
which is what I find very interesting, that as a country we are so steeped in myth, in folklore, in all sorts of... We are believers.
Yeah.
As a country, we are a country of believers. We believe in
Semi-history, semi-mystery. type.
Yeah, we love stories, right? Like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
story we love is about fantastic things. So consequently, I find it very odd that as a country we still haven't made that many horror films. Considering कि हर गांव का एक खुद का एक folklore है.
Correct.
हर every 10 kilometers you'll find some new thing that people are interested in and afraid of. And yet we don't make too many horror films. I find it very odd.
Some of them are there. Like I feel like now, especially not Maddock, but if you look at Rahi Anil Barve or these Tumbbad type filmmakers,
Yeah,
they
Tumbbad, by
still
the
are
way.
able to tackle like folklore and make it make it entertaining. Like despite I would say a lead actor who was kind of weak. if you truly assess Soham Shah as an actor,
Opinions have been...
no strong definite opinion. Like in fact, all of Tumbbad looks beautiful because
Oh, it looks so good.
it's an actor who you can't use closes off.
Oh wow.
That's
a great theory.
It's all beautiful wides
Wow.
and wides
Sweeping
and
shots.
these long
Sweeping shots.
shot. वो he's crying by a well, but तू through a tree
और
1 किलोमीटर दूर से देख रहा है उसको.
Close-up भी है तो अंधेरा है.
अंधेरा है. बाकी मूंछ से छुपा दो.
Oh wow. Never thought
There are
of it that way.
Pawan Kriplani. There are films like Phobia and all that have been made
Yes.
with Radhika. And in fact, recently, I forget the name, but there's a Rajat Kapoor show about a Delhi hostel. It's an
Correct.
Cough. Yeah,
Again,
great.
slightly feel bad. Links to actual horror. Actual horror to...
This is another thing we're talking about. So I feel like what happened in, like, I think post, maybe I would say your Get Out, right? Post Get Out, in that space where horror got, Get Out kind of very nicely laid bare this idea that horror is linked to metaphor.
Correct.
Right? So even
Babadook is
beautiful,
Yeah.
like,
meditative
It's beyond the
piece on
supernatural,
depression.
essentially, right?
Babadook
Like
is one of the most meditative horror films
And-
I've seen in my life.
And I feel like, so we've come to this place of this thing which I mean, for the lack of a better word, like is almost secular horror. You know, where it's...
It comes
Yeah.
from nowhere.
Yeah.
And like essentially what happened is that we... so horror in a lot of ways, you know, people think that it's about demons and, you know,
Monsters and chudails and all.
no, and the narak part of mythology. But in my opinion, if you actually look at some of that horror stuff, it's actually the greatest advertisement for God.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, good will triumph.
That's what will save you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the greatest advertisement for God.
Yeah.
So what happened is at some point, you know, like when you like as a horror fan, at some point you have to come to that point in your journey as well, where you have to go like, you know, do I believe in a lot of these things because they're quite superstitious, right? In that sort of way, like you have to confront that part of yourself. And which is what happened. So as a response to this idea कि अरे ये तो बहुत meaning काली बिल्ली and all of this stuff, like come on, you know. So as a response to that, filmmakers, writers, everyone just went like, you know what, we have to let's not think of horror as something that is about heaven and hell and the human soul, but it's about like negative human emotions given a physical form.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your grief became the Babadook, your racism became Get Out, your so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So everything is now a metaphor, which I appreciate. Like, it has its place, and it's really good. And there should be some thought about what your monsters represent, because whether you like it or not, everything you put on screen or everything you write about represents something.
Exactly.
Right? Whether it's consciously done or unconsciously done, it represents.
And sometimes
something.
it's on the nose, and sometimes it's too subliminal and symbolic and all of that. So,
So like, for example, wow, this conversation has jumped all our topics
That's
at
once.
So when we were writing this show called Shaitan Haveli, which you must watch if you can.
Must watch.
Must.
And before we get into Shaitan Haveli, I just want to say, Ramsay segment starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to bring, like, to kind of talk about this symbolism thing that is there, right? I was reading this book on the Ramsays called Don't Disturb the Dead. Okay, very fun book. It's written by a person called Shamya Dasgupta, I think, or I might be getting the name wrong, but it's the title is correct. Don't Disturb the Dead. So he wrote this very interesting thing about that particular type of horror. The symbolism behind that, okay, might be a reach, but I really bought it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Of the Ramsay horror.
yeah, it's wonderful.
This I have to read.
Analysis of
Purani Haveli and Birwana.
What are they trying to say? Okay, it's beautiful, man. It's so good. So this also reveals to me one other thing, that a lot of horror is conservative in a way, and the reason for that is horror is always looking back at the past.
Yeah.
It's about the past. It's about the past not letting you go.
Yeah.
It's literally conservative in the way that, it's about tradition, and it's about like things that you need to address that are unresolved. So the way that they analyzed the Ramsay films was in the 80s, India is sort of like in this almost half era, like the disco had happened, all that happened. So we were
Bachche avara hone shuru ho gaye.
so you have this traditional country meeting these Western ideas, behaviors,
introduction of
Vijendra Ghadge.
modernity, right? So what happens is, so the way that he's analyzed it is the teenagers, right, are the youth. And their car, for example, if you look at it in a thematic way, is like modernity. Modernity breaks down where? In front of a Haveli, which is
The Contessa breaks down there. Whatever it is.
in front of tradition.
Literal Purani Haveli.
Purani Haveli. And now it's about youth having to navigate Purani Haveli. So it was almost like a fear of, these kids who are taking the country.
And they're lured by what? Vixen, like a sexy woman ghost.
All the
So
negative.
Ramsay movies have Haveli and Sexy Chudel. Basically,
Sexy
those are
Chudel,
the
Haveli,
representation of
Little
horror.
camp. It's like campfire energy only. It's like you're like kids away at camp. They're going. मैं अपने uncle के घर खंडाला जा रहा हूँ. हम सारे दोस्त वहाँ पे रात बिताएंगे. And then you
a man called Vicky.
a man called literally.
Okay. So the threat is like this: a woman who may be slightly
Or you've
promiscuous or whatever.
troubled a sacred ground. Like there is an atma or a pret that
because
lives
you
in
had
a
no
Puran.
respect for the past.
Okay.
You had
You
no
come and try
respect
to
for
bang
tradition.
in the bedroom of late Chaudhary Raja Sahab और उनकी
तो उसके
चार
repercussions
बीवियां.
होने वाले.
Yes.
Okay,
वो
okay,
भी खुद
okay.
polyamorous थे, but
And-
तू कैसे?
And
That was allowed.
eventually what happens? These kids who, how does the story begin? Kids who are super confident, super youth, super everything, who say, chal party karte, yay, right? In unison, they say, yay! And they land up at Haveli. Okay, have no respect for Haveli.
Yeah.
Say कि क्या बकवास जगह है, खंडर है, fuck off, ये वो. Okay, and then eventually start getting haunted. Learn to respect Haveli.
Okay.
And then say, sorry, we were wrong.
Okay.
Galti ho gayi.
Okay.
We believe, and through belief we will vanquish.
It'll end there only. All of them end in belief.
So you have to, So essentially it became, they are morality tales, they are,
Of course,
they are stories like, so essentially you can tell people, I feel like all
What to
stories
do.
eventually come down to like, how do you live, right? Like, what are the consequences of choices?
Yeah.
So you can tell people in a positive way that, hey, if you do good things happen. Or you can be like, hey, if you do bad things happen.
Shit's gonna go down,
Right?
yeah.
So eventually it just comes down to it being...
Like Raaz and all is basically ki infidelity, lust, greed.
All of these
These
things
are all
like
fuck all
negative.
things.
Raaz
And, like,
1 is
stay-
infidelity.
Yeah.
Raaz 2, which is my favorite film.
Which one is 2?
Raaz 2 is
The Mystery Continues.
The Mystery Continues is a Mohit Suri directorial, not a
Oh,
Vikram
wow.
Bhatt.
Who are that?
And it's based on Kabir's Doha. बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा ना मिलिया कोई जो मैं whatever
बोलते हैं क्या
मुझसे
movie
बुरा
में?
ना कोई it's the theme of the film multiple times.
Beautiful.
Kangana Ranaut is married to Adhyayan Suman, who is a journalist who covers up like he basically to get Kangana Ranaut only money for a house that she always wanted, doesn't report the death of an ecological activist, Jackie Shroff.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Who comes back to haunt Kangana Ranaut that your greed has exposed this industrial outflow ka wastage which is ruining a village water line. And he comes in the way of Imran Hashmi, his son's visions which come as Isaac Mendes from Heroes. It is insanely hectic as a film and lovely.
And Kangana doesn't even know all this.
Kangana is
Again,
worried
is
ki,
the
why am I haunted?
perpetrator.
Why am I haunted?
Yeah.
My husband is fucked up. Oh, this ghost is fucking me up. And then it literally comes back to, oh shit, I told him to do a disingenuous
So
job
greed,
at work. Oh,
yeah.
my greed got me this.
Got it,
Is basically
got it.
Raaz 2.
Oh,
Only
wow.
film Mohit Suri made. Went back to infidelity very quickly.
Yeah.
But speaking of circling back to Butts for a bit, because you like Jurassic Park.
I love.
Creature
3D.
Creature 3D. Yeah,
Oh.
Is
creature
this
features
Bipasha
in India.
Basu?
Yes.
And
And-
Karan Singh Grover?
No,
I'm blanking
it's
on-
not. His name is not Karan Singh Grover. Not in Creature 3D. That's Alone. That's a different
Okay,
movie they
Alone,
did together.
yes, yes.
That's a double role. Spoiler
There is
given.
one where she's married to Nawazuddin.
Oh.
Yeah, Atma, the soul within.
Atma. That's the
I was
one.
going to say something very
That's
deep.
the one. That's
Atma,
the one.
Atma, the soul within.
Dude, but, sorry, I'm sorry for one quick this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Go,
of
go,
course.
go.
Dude, there was, the film I was looking forward to. So when Dhurandhar 2 was coming out, there was another sequel coming out and I was way more excited about that. Haunted 3D,
Oh, I had
Ghosts
no
from the
idea.
Past.
Without Nemo.
With Mimo, who is
Mimo
now
is-
Mahakshay.
Markshay, yeah.
Yes, it was
Wait, I can't follow.
Markshay
He
Chakraborty.
changed his name or what?
He was always
okay.
Markshay.
Oh, he was always Mahakshay?
He was always Markshay. Mimo was a screen name.
Shut up.
Yeah, for Jimmy, they made it was Jimmy starring Mimo.
Okay.
So for his launch, they gave
My
him a
mind has
screen
been
name.
blown by this.
This is
information.
also
I
Bhatt
thought-
or what? This is Bhatt Camp.
But this is a
Haunted 3D.
this
as
is
well.
this is a Vikram
yes,
Bhatt
yes.
VB on the web,
And
Krishna V Bhatt.
what's
that
the symbolic horror element in this?
Nothing.
It's just fine.
There's also
Okay,
Haunted
okay, it's
3D
just
Horrors
fine.
of the Heart. They made one more.
No.
With
that was-
Vardhan Puri,
That was
Amrish
Horrors
Puri's-
of the Heart was 1920s Horror of the Heart.
That was the latest one.
That
huh?
was the latest
That did
one.
surprisingly well. Apparently,
It did?
it made someone.
do I have to
I
tell you
met
about
someone who said it made money.
Oh my lord. So
Made my-
I'll tell you how.
First 1920 you've seen? We must address first 1920.
I
That's
think
Ada
so.
Sharma killing
Yes,
it.
I
Yeah.
think
With
so.
Rajneesh Duggal, I think.
Rajneesh Duggal.
And
Rajneesh-
Ali.
Ada Sharma, man, like
Yeah.
tick tock, tick
Oh
tock,
yes,
tick.
yes.
Iconic.
So
horror
all of
movie.
these are women being like.
Yeah, 1920 is fairly simple.
And
Supernatural.
Man,
Okay.
the crazy thing about 1920 is that they said, "Hey, this whole franchise set in 1920." That was the
It's the Magadira of horror. It's the Rata. So it's the Magadira.
except for one time where I think the fourth film went suddenly
Evil
became,
Returns, Aftab Wala.
I forget. Yeah, they all
They all
bleed into
bleed
one for
into
me.
it, for sure.
But one film they just suddenly made it 1921, and it was so jarring. Then they went back to 1920. So that was
Why did they?
comforting.
Why do they do these
I
things?
don't know. Yeah, we should ask.
1921.
Why? Why did you do this? Yeah.
1920. But in Creature, we have properly, because you're a Jurassic fan
Yes.
and you've seen Creature 3D, I find that that's a department where we've messed up.
I
like
agree.
Indian cinema
agree.
does not do Creature well. Tuya Mai was great, but it was too different. Huh?
I didn't see it.
Oh, Tuya Mai is a good
I
film.
liked it a
Overall,
lot.
is a solid film. But other than that, we've had nothing. We've had Creature 3D, we've had Ajuba or whatever that one
Bhari
Amitabh.
Mang for a scene.
Yeah,
a
that's
barely-
OG, dude.
But that was
That's
the
OG.
best rendition of that particular
OG,
thing.
OG.
But but I agree with you. And another thought that I've always had is, I feel horror does so much better as an audio form. Like I genuinely do think that
Because
it's
imagination
Those
is so
audiobooks,
much worse.
you heard them on long
Yeah.
drives or whatever.
no, not just audiobooks. Like for me, the quintessential horror experience is always Andhera room, 3-4 friends, just
Sharing stories.
sharing stories.
Oh man. I will run
Shreemayee
away
said
from
no.
here.
She was that no, but next time.
Love that experience. Like I remember so vividly. There was one. I used to play football in one era, and we were going for one tournament in one train, and 11, 12 boys just
Best.
It's a thing, no, when you're growing up. Yeah.
Man, shit. Sorry, I'll quickly tell you one fun horror story that happened on that train. So, what happens is, so it's 12 of us. We've switched off the lights. Now, just imagine this, okay?
Yeah.
Creepy AF. Train is, trundling through those parts of India where there is not a light inside. Okay? It's like
Ratlam ki galiyon types.
No, you're just
Ratlam is quite,
barreling.
it's a junction here.
Joking.
Yeah, you're barreling through just endless darkness.
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
And you can just see, like, occasionally there'll be one tree, one lone lamppost or whatever. And we're telling stories, okay? Everyone is creeped out. And at this point, we call it a night. Everyone goes, to their different their berths, and everyone's gone to sleep. The berth I was in, right? So I'm here on the side berth, okay? And I look across and I see that there is a person sleeping on this side, okay? He's a small boy, okay? He's on the lower berth. He's got his chadar on. Now, just to remind you, very creepy stories have been told. My heart rate is heightened, and once you hear the best way to tell you if you've felt something with horror is that everything is creepy afterward. Once the film or story or whatever is over, you're just looking for creepy shit. So there I am, and I happened to notice on the corner of my eye that this boy, his blanket is rising up. Okay, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I look, and it has risen up.
It's some
okay, it's risen up, and as it's risen up, his mother, who's lying on the berth beside him, gets up and just pushes him down, and then she nonchalantly just goes back to her berth. Okay, 10 minutes later, again the thing has risen, and it's risen to the point where it's a flimsy white chadar, and you can see that it's not touching the berth anymore.
He's levitating.
It's up, dude. So I'm like, what? I have sat up at this point. I'm like, what is happening? She comes and again pushes his foot down, and now she takes the chadar off, and I see that this boy has braces on his feet.
Oh no!
So basically, his legs were just like, it was going up, but because it was stiff, it was rising up like that, and the chadar was going up as a consequence. And it was just so creepy for those 10 minutes.
This is rooted in sadness, though.
Yeah, oh no, now I feel bad about the boner shit, yeah. Fucking hell, you said it.
You said it, and stop. Akanksha, there's a limit.
I'm so glad you guys said all the boner shit, because I knew where the story was going.
Oh my God.
These are lessons to be learned. We're going to be haunted today.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we were sure of one limb that worked. But anyway.
So basically, to come back to it, basically it works so well in that, that oral form, because...
There's no coming back from this.
We're
terrible people.
So in the audio form, it works so well because, like you said, right, whatever you will imagine is going to be better and worse and more customized to your horror.
For sure.
If I'm
also, like
afraid...
Delhi Crime, for example, like the scene where they show the rape is happening, it's shot from the top with just the bus moving across Delhi. And that's the scariest way to show sexual assault, because your imagination is thinking the worst. So it's definitely always imagination. It's way worse than looking at a monster literally in your face.
And the other thing is that, unfortunately, even with all the advancements in VFX and whatever, so the whole thing of horror for me works on the fact that you have to believe it, right? You have to really be like, whatever's happening
it's that contractor signing,
right? And what ends up happening is that when you have bad VFX or, clunky design or whatever it is, it immediately sucks you out of the thing.
Yeah, like speaking of bad VFX, like Maddock, I think is something we should also quickly get into.
We've had a long...
but I want to get to Maddock so that then we can also eventually discuss what our favorite Indian horror films are. So Maddock, have you seen any Maddock movies?
Yeah, I've seen Stree, I've seen Stree 2, I've seen Munjya. I haven't seen Thama.
Thama I saw Thama, the Ayushmann film, the Vampires of Vijayanagar.
Yes. Vampires of Vijayanagar, yes.
Vampires of Vijayanagar, and then there's also Bhedia, which is the Varun
Werewolf.
Film. Yeah. I think that they took a good thing, Stree 1, which I thought was proper, had feminist notes and was a strong, entertaining film about what a witch is or a chudel or whatever, nicely indigenized. And the second one was like little all over the place, no? Like it was a little bizarre.
The second one, the Stree is not even the main thing. No, it's something.
The first one had that hilarious where the guys can't go out at night, right? That was the flip in the first one, which I thought was hilarious. Now I feel like since it's become the cinematic universe, once the universe has been established, the films have been weak. Like I've seen Munjya was still okay, like as a children's horror, it looked like an AI tool that was used to create the Munjya.
And which is, I think, why the we've pivoted to horror comedy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then you can justify कि अच्छा ये वैसा दिखता है. You're not supposed to feel
And
scared.
slightly more blockbustery vibe. You can go with your family. You can laugh
Yes.
about it.
And,
Like it's comforting, I guess.
Because the other beautiful thing that Don't Disturb the Dead had written about was why people don't make horror, producers, right? One of the reasons is that in horror, the hero is the ghost, is the
Correct.
monster.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are coming to see the monster, right?
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing on the
yeah.
poster.
Cool sign.
So,
yeah.
No one wants to be in a film where you're the guy who's afraid. Plus,
You're the side guy.
plus our heroes don't like being afraid.
Yeah.
Right? We are
100%.
like,
Yeah.
आप फोड़ दूंगा,
Correct,
दे
correct,
दूंगा,
correct.
Yeah.
तू
You
भूत
need a
कहीं का।
secure. You need a. होगा तू भूत का.
होगा
I
तू-
think Sunny
Have
Deol and
you-
Johnny Dushman once straight up does fuck a bhoot up. No.
I'll tell you the only time I've seen Salman be afraid is in Andaz Apna Apna, where he's always uima.
I love bhoot.
अंधेरे से डर लगता है and all he says.
अमर चल यहाँ से लगता नहीं आया
That's the only time. Otherwise,
Yeah,
think
yeah,
of any hero and being afraid. It's very rare.
Ajay Devgan, but he didn't emote fear that much. in the book.
He
But
was
he's not
just-
scared for most of it because he
just
doesn't believe her.
tobacco
only.
withdrawal.
Yeah, he
was
thinks
what he
she's
was
lost her. He thinks she's lost her mind. But like even these Bhool Bhulaiya movies, which
Bhool Bhulaiya 1.
yeah,
Oh,
one was
I think
great,
that's my
right?
favorite horror movie.
3 is my favorite. Not. I was being funny. I don't actually like it.
The other thing that horror comedy lets you do is that you can lampoon, because I feel like, especially again, this is maybe another reason why we don't do horror much in our country, is the superstition is truly believed.
Yeah.
It's truly
Correct,
believed
correct,
in our
correct.
country. Like, you don't have
Symbolism
to-
everyone's not picking up on. Na? It's more like it's literal.
because
yeah.
we don't need movies to make us believe in superstition.
Correct,
we believe
correct,
in
We anyway do.
100,000 superstitions.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
correct,
like it's some very horrifying ones appear in the newspapers every day. Like there was this one case where some IIT, but like an engineering professor killed his kids because of some superstitious belief.
Study social sciences.
Right?
Always.
So,
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do professional courses.
Yes.
so the point is ki, like, you don't want to add to any of this.
Correct.
Right?
Which is
And-
the.
As a burden on you as a
But
filmmaker,
I
for
feel
sure,
like no
yeah.
filmmaker carries that burden, that moral responsibility. The moment it makes money, they will like.
Agreed.
They
Actually,
will get
if they
people
make
to.
one
They will
like that.
create superstitions for money if they could.
They'll double down. Yeah.
Which is what the horror comedy thing is able to bridge. Ki, if you look at all these horror comedy things, the number one critique is that the number one thing that the hero does is that he immediately debunks the horror, right? Or says
मैं इन
ki,
सब चीजों में नहीं मानता.
yeah.
That.
It's that, and ki, there is always a reason, there's always a justification.
जहाँ
there's always
साइंस की सीमा खत्म हो जाती है रोहन, वहाँ एक नई दुनिया शुरू होती है.
Yes, bang on. And you're able to engage with these things without being like, अरे, ये तो बहुत serious actual चीज है.
Krishna
Yeah, yeah,
Cottage
yeah.
is a fictional
Oh yeah,
movie.
Ekta Kapoor has also made a bunch of these.
Krishna
Kuch to
Cottage.
hai,
Which is the
Krishna
last
Cottage.
thing I want to touch upon before we do our recommendations is because through Ekta Kapoor we must discuss found footage.
Oh yes, oh great.
Found footage horror in India.
Superb, thank you.
There's
Yes.
Ragini MMS 2, Ragini MMS, question mark.
Yes, question
There are
mark.
the greatest, these are the greatest
Yeah.
found footage horror films
Yeah.
made in the history of Indian
Yes,
cinema.
yes.
One with Varun and Manvi.
Yes.
One with Rajkumar and
Rajkumar.
Kainaz Motiwala.
Yes.
And the second one with Sunny Leone and an
yes,
ensemble.
yes.
The next one has Junaid Khan.
Oh.
Junaid Khan is currently shooting for the next Ragini MMS
Ragini
3.
MMS?
They've de-eroticized it and they're currently shooting with Tamanna and him. They just made an
MMS de-eroticized.
Haan.
Interesting.
Firstly,
Very
It's
interesting.
a hug.
No,
It's a hug.
this just the sign of the times. The word MMS is gone. Like
Gone.
nobody.
Gone. Snapchat, whatever the
Yeah.
kids are
It
using.
has to be
these
something
days.
else. Like,
From MMS to OnlyFans. We
yeah,
have now-
Ragini OnlyFans.
But now
has
it's also
to
like there's
Only-
no hoo-ha with this. Nah, it's like hey video, hey mera. It's like that's the like that fear is kind of reduced
It's
now
still
because
there.
AI, deepfake, all of
हाँ, ये
that.
भी
You're
है,
like, what
हाँ,
should
ये
I
भी
be
है.
scared of? I can always be like, this wasn't me.
This is
Yeah.
but yeah.
But found footage horror is actually easy to shoot, and I feel like a lot of people have done it well, especially now with Anish Chaganty making Searching, Run, and all these banger thrillers like these camera. Have you seen Searching?
I haven't.
Searching must watch. It's
Wait,
a Telugu
is it
director.
Telugu
Director in the US, Hollywood film.
I've seen Searching.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
It's a text that's going to appear on screen, and you're at the edge of your seat, like,
Oh
what the
my
fuck is this
God.
text? What the
Beautiful.
fuck?
Searching
See You
was so
Soon
good.
did it. I think Fahad did See You Soon in Kerala, but no one else has made good found footage horror or
By the way,
screen grab horror.
My favorite found footage horror, I think so, is Wreck. It is so good. That movie is, I think, 70 minutes long or something like that. Okay, and it's a 2007 film, and it is the last 30 minutes of that film feel like about an hour and a half. It is that claustrophobic. It is that like terrifying. Great film, but yeah, like by the way, Trip to Bhangar I think is
And Bhangar, there are two.
These are all available.
There are two Bhangar. On YouTube only you'll get.
it's very fun.
But Trip to Bhangar and Bhangar both are there on YouTube.
Trip to Bhangar, I think for a brief while was on Netflix because I remember watching it. And so my wife and I, this is what we do. Like
You saw Trip to Bhangar?
yeah, I love Trip
Is
to
this the one where they keep squeezing the male fat best friend's boobs as
It
a
sounds
joke?
like
my
something
God.
happened for sure.
Yeah, on a jeep. Yeah, I remember watching that and I'm feeling very triggered.
By the way, I also have fond memories of Kal, but that's I don't know why.
Superstitions really come into it, huh? There's the Kali Billi, there's the this.
There's a constant cut to that owl and that monkey who just for some reason are
My
super
favorite
pretty.
scene is Kushal Punjabi, God bless him, has a
Vishal Punjabi. No.
Kushal Punjabi. He died some years ago. The guy who plays the evil fiance in Laksh, Preeti Zinta's
Understood.
misogynist
Vishal
fiance in
Malhotra
Laksh.
is also in this, right?
Vishal Malhotra is there and Kushal Punjabi is
Okay,
there.
both are there.
Mambo is there.
Okay.
There's a scene where you see a gun coming like this or a hand coming like this to kill Kushal Punjabi. Okay, so this hand is coming and like he's sweating and they pull out and he just wipes it. It's my favorite jump scare. Kal ka favorite like anticlimactic
Oh,
jump
that's
scare.
so good.
That's so
One of the
good.
best. But
Sorry, just to come to found footage, this point that you had made about like the found footage genre, I think it has to be boring on some level. I think when you try to make it interesting is where the found
would need
footage.
jump scares also, na more.
But the baseline of boredom has to be established
Has to
first
be
for
there.
like a static frame of nothing happening and then slight movement is what
Kuch
is
to
better
dikha
than
types.
dynamic.
Because the fundamental conceit of found footage is that this really happened, and the difference between reality and storytelling is that storytelling cuts out the boring parts. So if you're trying to make reality, you have to add back the boring parts. So then the trouble is that they don't add the boring parts because producers go like, कुछ हो नहीं रहा है.
Every minute kuch hona chahiye.
So yeah, we'll come in that part.
Kal hota hai also.
Yeah, and so you want very like so the criticism also is कि like public देखता है because again like it's a thing about horror literacy and all of that stuff also कि how much horror do you consume and what do you want and not want out of it. So there are lots of fans who are like listen I come for the thrills तो ये क्या बकवास boring कुछ हो नहीं रहा है.
डराना है कुछ करना.
हाँ so and that happens and that's a valid
The
criticism.
most
कि
scared people in a movie theater are the ones making jokes and passing
Yes.
comments. By
I
far, right?
100% agree.
I hate them also.
hate
In
them.
case you're one of them, watch out.
horror by the way I genuinely think does not do well in theatrical experience.
Oh really? I have a really good time watching. Like Weapons, which released last year. I
love
really had a good
Weapons is
time
good
watching
film,
that.
but you pass
Loved
comments.
Weapons.
You laugh together
Love
as like
Weapons.
there are
But-
moments I engineered
You're
for
a
laughter.
comment passer.
and all.
You're a comment
I don't.
passer. She's a comment
I'm
passer.
shush. I'm a shush.
I mean,
She's scared.
it's fundamentally this, na, the for me at least.
Yeah.
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, you will be more scared when you are alone.
100%.
And in theater, if you're watching with 250 people, what alone
Yeah,
will be?
it's much less
So
scary.
you
Yeah.
want to be like, which is why there was that one Darna Mana Hai opening, na, where the guy.
That is
sitting
why I
up-
was going to say that. That is that's directed by Sajid Khan.
Yeah.
Sajid Khan directed that. I was going to go to what are our top 3 favorite Indian horror recos.
Yeah.
Can be shorts, can be a part of an anthology, can be horror films. So
Okay.
we'll go top 3.
ठीक है.
We'll do.
For me, I think Bhool Bhulaiya,
Oh,
Bhoot, and Darna Mana Hai, I think.
Darna Mana Hai, Sajid Khan?
Damn. Any particular one in that Dharna Mana Hai? Like the shorter stories?
I really liked the first.
Sajid Khan, Manoj Pava.
That one was really good.
The coins are jingling and all. Oh,
And
beautiful
then he
shot.
walks to the Kabristan and he
Beautiful
falls down.
shot, yeah.
I'm thinking, am I missing some? Because I'm sure I am.
You can do 5. Let's do 5. Let's do 5.
Man, like these would always be the serious ones, but I also really enjoy just one nice, like we look forward to seeing one horror of the heart, seeing one, like for example, one
campy.
Oh, I love, like we saw Lupt. Okay,
Yeah.
with Javed Jafri in it.
I know, look.
I had
That's Rishabh Chadda.
Oh, I don't know everyone
The
in
boy
it.
who dies in Drishyam. You know the boy who's harassing the daughter?
Oh, that was
He's the lead actor along with Javed Jafri.
AI Shantanu.
I tested. No, I tested.
There was one more which I'm forgetting now. Tumbbad, obviously.
Okay, so Tumbbad. So your 5 are...
Not Lupt. Please take Lupt out.
Lupt
Now it's done. Now it's right.
Oh, okay, fine. Lupt is number 4. It's ahead of Tumbbad, so make of that what you want.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll do 3. I have 3 tops. I'll do the short film that Dibakar Banerjee made in Ghost Stories.
Wow.
Have you seen
I
that?
haven't seen Ghost
Zombie.
Stories only, yaar. For some
Oh,
reason.
it's a zombie, it's a virus meets zombie movie.
Great.
But only when it ends with the zombies were actually right-wing saffron people killing minorities.
And then Dibakar wonders why the film is not getting released.
Yeah, why it doesn't get released? That's my number 1. my
Sorry, I just want to add, if I may.
Yes, you must.
I want to, alongside Lupt, I will not take it out. Alongside Lupt, I want to add Pari.
Yes,
One of my
yes, yes.
I like Pari.
favorites.
Pari, Mansi
Loved
Multani,
Pari.
shout out.
Very nice.
Loved Pari.
Yeah.
Okay,
Loved it.
Pari
Sorry.
was great. So mine is the first is this
First is
one.
Dibakar.
First is Dibakar shot in Ghost
Which I have
Stories.
to check out.
Insane short film. The second would be Con.
Con.
I would put Con as my second. And my third would be this Rahul Sadasivan made a trilogy in Kerala, which is Bhutakalam, Brahmayugam, and now this Dizere, this third movie. The first film, Bhutakalam, by far the best horror film I've seen in India. Revati and her son Shane Nigam.
I am writing this
Yeah,
down.
they are an abandoned, depressed mother, son, troubled son who live in a home, and the whole time you're like, is it a ghost or is it just their depression? What the fuck has happened to this family? Like it's that sad a movie. So interesting to note that Revati has been monumental in the Indian horror history for me.
Tell
the
me.
first horror film that I saw of Ram Gopal Varma's, or the first he made, has Revati as a young girl in the lead who gets possessed. It's a movie called Raat, which came out more than 3 decades ago.
Was it in Hindi?
Hindi. They released it in
Oh, I've
Hindi.
not seen
Raat she plays a young college-going girl who gets possessed.
Okay.
So Revati as a young girl in Raat to Revati as an old 60-plus-year-old woman in Bhutakalam with Shane Nigam. Solid. Revati has defined the history of Indian horror without even realizing she's done so. And I'm done with my records.
Amazing.
Wow.
Okay, I'll give mine.
Yes.
I think typically you like things that you're scared of, right? Like I like watching those kind of movies. So one I really like Talash. I don't know if it'll be considered horror, but when I watched it initially, I was like, "Fuck, ye kya ghost dikha diya?"
Horror
But
is spoil. Saying it's horror is
Yeah.
spoiler in itself.
That's true.
But Talash, you had to see, otherwise you're just a big
The hunt
loser.
within, search within.
The search within.
Sorry. I'll tell
say
you
na,
my-
say na, say.
No, my thing with Talash was that I think I really liked it.
Yeah.
But I think it suffered from the genre shift because I think it wasn't communicated to people, so
Yeah.
they were expecting police procedural
Thriller. People thought it's
they thought, oh,
Yeah.
this is
But
spiritual.
sad. Babadook police thriller.
I know, and it felt like, oh, it's going to be spiritual sequel to Sarfarosh.
Yeah,
and then you get
because he's a cop, sure.
Sad, like grief
Yeah,
of
yeah.
child.
Which
and
is
all
why
of
I
this
think I
is-
watched it initially in the theater and I didn't like it. I was almost mad at the movie.
Exactly, that's
and
what
when I
happened
watched
to
it
lots of
later,
folks.
like the older I grew, I really liked it because I'm like, they're saying a lot through this, right?
I
Like
agree.
the idea of invisible women, who's considered a spirit, ghost, etc. Like
Big
so,
fan,
so
big
many
fan.
things.
It's
Yeah.
my fourth.
Yeah,
Talash
love
is
it,
very
love
good.
it.
It's my
It's also like 2 women writing. You can tell why they've written horror the way that they've written. The second one is Zoya Akhtar shot in Ghost Stories.
Oh, wow.
Even though it has Janhvi Kapoor, I'm not a very
I
big
have to
fan
see
of.
Ghost Stories.
Yeah. It's a very good, like the symbolism is basically of like dying alone and how that can be scary and all of that.
That's a nice categorization just to add because it's not a horror. I didn't like it. When then I rewatched that story, it's not a horror story. There are no jump scares. It's literally about an old woman who's become a ghost in person lives in a
Psychological horror,
home.
so it is,
But
yeah.
it's cute. It's like a
Cute?
It's like a it's like a Ruskin Bond ghost story.
Yeah, got it.
That's the
Correct,
vibe of
correct,
that shot.
correct,
I
correct,
sat
correct.
in thinking, bro, there'll
But
be
honestly,
something
like
scary.
you'll get scared if you're scared of that. Like I am scared of dying
The
alone.
Vijay Varma film, right?
So when I watched
very
it, there was
Ruskin
something
Bond
very
energy.
sad
It's a
and
very
scary.
Ruskin Bond
Yeah.
energy.
This is so good. Like the idea of like ki, I feel like horror gets this rep of ki अरे horror means this type of अरे कुछ jump scare होगा,
yeah.
चुड़ैल होगी, भूत होगा, monster होगा.
Yeah.
But I feel like horror benefits so much कि if you just expand the definition of horror to everything from tragedy to
Yeah.
Grief,
to monster,
anything,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
everything in that sadness to terror.
Then I have third also, which
Yeah.
is fully different. I really like Bhootnath because it was like
Great.
it was like my Casper. I
Great.
wanted to be friends with a friendly ghost.
Great.
So I was like, yeah, Bhootnath is a vibe.
Bhootnath
Party
is a
with the
vibe.
Bhootnath.
Relax, man. That's the second one. Bhootnath. So you're three. You
My
got
three.
Bhoot three. So with that, we come to an end of our 3 recos in this episode on horror in Bollywood
Yeah.
with Kautuk Srivastava.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank
we
you,
really,
thank you.
really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
the
This was so
conversation.
fun. This
I
was
feel
love
like
to have
everyone
you
should
back.
hear this and like
Thank you.
learn how to.
Tell us about
Yeah.
your favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
Tell us about, also go watch Shaitan Haveli
Yes.
and read everything Kautuk Srivastava has written in life.
Yes.
Sorry, that camera. Read everything he's written in life to realize what a legend we have in our midst. And finally, tell us what you want us to discuss with Kautuk when he comes back the next time.
Which means he has to come back again.
Ceremonial
Yes,
clap
yes.
to
Thank
end. There.